Well, it's another morning, butt crack of dawn, 5:40 in the a.m. So we actually woke up, I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yep. Left the house around 4. And we're on our way down to Phoenix. Today, I'm going to get my staples, actually not staples, I'm going to get my stitches taken out. I got 3 stitches from the surgery where they removed the screw. Those get to come out today. And also, I'm going to be making a trip to Dillon and picking up some more reloading supplies for 223-556. So, should be an interesting, fun day. And then tomorrow, I'll have physical therapy. And we're actually staying the night in Phoenix. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy couple days. Alright, so I'm at Dillon. I'm going to be picking up a couple things. You know, I've had the Dillon XL650 for quite a while, reloading 9mm, and there's quite a few things that when you're loading 9mm you can kind of, I don't know, you don't have to be as perfectly accurate. But now that I'm going to be starting to reload 5.56 223, well, 223, it's time to get a few things that I sorely need. Now, for one, I need to get the conversion kit. I already got the dies. I already did that. But the conversion kit basically gives you the shell plate to match the 223 exactly. Now, the shell plate that I have on there now for 9mm, it's pretty darn close. But it's just good to do. And there's a few other little parts, I guess, as well. So, better to be safe than sorry. Also, finally, I'm going to be picking up a balance beam scale, not a digital scale. Now, Dillon's digital scale is pretty baller. It's pretty expensive too, but if I'm going to trust a digital scale, I would definitely trust Dillon's. But, you know, as I said, it's about twice as much, I think. It's pretty up there. So, I'm going to be getting the balance beam scale. And it's good to have a, you know, a manual scale anyway, so I'm gonna be picking that up. Also need to get a headspace gauge just to make sure that once I load the round that it is within specs. Need to pick up some case lube as well, because I have the steel dies, not the carbide dies, and even with the carbide dies you should probably use lube, but especially with the steel dies you have to use lube on rifle cases or you're gonna mess stuff up. But yeah, that's what we're doing here. Also gonna talk to him a little bit about the belling of the case, because I got the 3 dies and I know my 9mm, you know, there's a belling in there, but it's been a while since I reloaded, and for some reason I'm thinking it's the sizing die that does that. But I'm not exactly sure. I mean, it seems like that's a lot for one die to do, to pop out a primer, to size the case, and to bell the mouth of the case. So we shall see. Got some questions. Hopefully got some answers. I'm sure I've already got some comments down there saying, of course it does, you dumbass. But I don't know. It's been a while. And I haven't loaded even 9mm in a while. So I've got my work cut out for me. It's time to brush up on the Dillon XL650, get all the stuff I need. Well, there's still a few other things that I'm going to need eventually, but I'm not going to pick up today because it's just too much. One is dial calipers. I have digital calipers, but they're not Dillon, and it's always good to have digital, you know, a dial caliper too. So eventually I'll get that, and also need to get a case trimmer at some point too. But for today, that's what I'm getting. Kind of wondered if you guys would want to see what that place is like. Probably should have videotaped some of that. I don't know. I always feel weird asking, hey, can I videotape in here? You know, but I'm sure you guys would love to see the store. It's a pretty friggin' cool store if you're into reloading and you like Dillon, that is. So here we have some lubricant. Make it wet. Okay, that was inappropriate. This box right here is the balance beam scale, so that's cool. This is the head spacing gauge. So this was recommended when I was, oh, that's kind of a cool little thing. It screws in and out like that. This is recommended from the die set that I'd gotten, and they said that we strongly recommend that you get a headspace gauge. So it was like 26 bucks, but you know, that's what you gotta do. And lastly is the conversion kit. Now this, pretty much all in one little bag. I mean, you got the case here for it, I suppose, but that's pretty much it right there. You got the shell plate, the little brass knobs. This is for your cases. They're coming down. Quite a few of these are for that. And I believe that's the powder die. So that'll be fun. I have to get that all set up. Well, this I know is the shell plate holder. This is when it comes down from the hopper that slides out on this onto your shell plate. So that's what that's definitely for. But it's this that I'm kind of not exactly sure about. I think that's for the powder. I'm gonna definitely have to look that up though. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the little show and tell of Dylan, and we'll see what happens next in the video. Oh, and I'll show you the balance beam scale later.
Just work your way into it slowly.
So like the 25% and then add 25% and add 25%?
No. He can walk fully on it.
Oh yeah?
Really?
Yeah, 100%? Oh yeah, 100%. But you know, what happens is he hasn't walked for a while in a regular shoe. So when he does, he's gonna get tired. He's gonna start to compensate. Once he does that, put the boot back on. And then later in the day, or the next day, do a little bit more. And a little bit more. And a little bit more. You just slowly work your way from boot. Right now you're boot and your brace. And over the next 3 to 4 weeks, you do that.
Okay.
Okay?
But I am technically 100% without boot.
Yep.
Cool.
100%. You're able to put 100% weight bearing
All day
in
long.
the brace. Exactly. There you go. Now you get that.
Well, my physical therapist is going to want to know all this stuff. So.
No, you can be in the brace.
Alright.
Absolutely. Yep.
Good
You're off to the races, brother. Get it
So he
moving,
doesn't
get
have
it
to come
working.
back till when?
I'm going to see him in 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I want to see you, because then I want you to be able to be transitioned back to all your activities. Okay?
Yep.
Awesome.
Good to see you. You got it. My pleasure. Have a good weekend, man.
So we just got done shopping at Sprouts. We were hoping to find some ghost peppers. They actually sell sometimes during the year ripe ghost peppers, and we use them for our sauerkraut that we make, and they are delicious, right, hon?
Yeah.
But they didn't have any.
It was very sad.
It was. So we picked up a couple other things that we kind of needed anyway, but yeah, if you ever want to try a ghost pepper, super hot, but if you ever want to try one, if you have a Sprouts near you, it's a good source for fresh ghost peppers at certain times of the year. At least around us, anyway. Your results may vary. Numero uno. Numeros dos. Day 2. Good morning. Day 2. Coming at you. Leaving the ghetto hotel. Yeah. Well, we're cheap, right? So we get the cheapest stuff we can find, and the cheapest stuff we can find is really close to my first ever apartment, which was really in the ghetto. And so, yeah, keep your powder dry kind of thing. But you know, it's all right. It's a clean hotel. It's pretty cheap. It's like what, 50 bucks, something like that. 59 bucks. Not bad. And it's centralized. Anyway, I feel like a dum-dum. Apparently you don't have to bell a case on a 223. Didn't know that. Apparently there is something that you can do, like belling the case, for flat bottomed bullets. But if you have like boat tail bullets, you don't supposedly have to bell them. Learning every day. Chamfering. I guess that's what it's called. Chamfering. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but I've never seen that kind of word before. But that's what you do to a piece of brass that you can't get the end of a flat bullet into, I guess, is you chamfer it or chafer it some more. I don't know. So I'm at Oasis, my vape store that I go to, and I'm actually trying to walk. Well, I walked in without the boot, just with my sandal. Got in just fine. Now, time to walk back to the car. It's a little bit of ways, but I don't know, it feels kind of good to walk without a brace or a boot. Alright, I made it. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
Open this bowl.
Ooh.
Healthy.
Yeah.
I decided to go healthier.
Because the tortilla is so unhealthy.
It is. Look at how much, like, it is like so many more calories in a bowl.
Alright. So this is Kyla's first time trying Tabasco. That's enough, honey. Seriously, try it first before you douse the whole thing.
I mean, it was barely coming out.
I know, but a little goes a long way. You'll see.
You are ridiculous.
I am. You like it?
Fine.
Can you taste it?
A little bit, but...
Go ahead and add more if you want. Love chipotle. You like chipotle? As you can see, I gotta clean this up anyway. But this is the 9mm plate. And I'm gonna loosen that, take this off, clean all this powder out. These little things come out. And then also, I replace this. I replace this little green thing here. And then there's that piece of metal right there that I have to replace. And then of course also the shell plate. There's a few other things too here and there. But that's what I'll be working on. And maybe when I get it all set up I'll show it off. But I don't really want to go into great detail of changing this over. This piece right here has to be taken off and flipped around. This long ramp is for pistol cartridges, and this short ramp here is for rifle, so I know I need to change that out. A few other things here and there. I'll definitely be going over the the checklist and making sure I do it correctly though. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take this out of the box. I've already taken it out of the box a couple times, but I wanted to kind of show you what it's like. There's that. I'm going to put this up here. Here we go. Alright, so you got some foam here. Pull that out. Alright, there's the scale. Let's go ahead and put it together. Okay, first and foremost, put this in. Kind of move the weight back a little bit. I like to just kind of twist it in there. Making sure that these right here, yeah, right there. And there you go, that's in. Now you just got to hang this little part, right? And then your powder cup. All right, so to get it to 0, you got to put all these to 0. 0, 0. Kind of see where the zeros are. And then this is 0. So this does tens, right? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This does ones, right? So up to 10. And this does tenths. So if you wanted 30.5 grains, you do 10, 20, 30. And then 0.5, you'd leave this one alone, right? And then you just move this one to the 0.5. Sorry, I'm trying to do it left-handed and I'm not left-handed. So you'd set it up like that. It's 30.5 grains. And then you'd put your powder in there until it balanced out. Now, putting this on 0, it shouldn't balance out. No, it doesn't. Because it's not level. So, what you do is you rotate this. This is a little foot on the bottom. And I'm rotating it until that needle comes up and touches 0. Yeah, I think that's pretty close. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think that's right on 0. Alright, so that's set up and ready to go. And it's kind of nice to have a balance beam manual scale like that. I can trust it because it's Dillon. And yeah, it's more expensive than others, but they have the no BS warranty, so if anything goes wrong with this, I can take it back and they will replace it for free. And since they're in Scottsdale, it's quite easy to go back and get it replaced. I tell you, customer service is way underrated. Like, I will pay extra if you've got good customer service. Alright, I got it all set up. I got everything switched out. Obviously, it's looking a lot cleaner now. And got the dies set in there. And I actually changed out to the Magnum powder thrower that my Dillon actually came with. I didn't have to buy that extra, which was nice. But that's going to throw a bigger charge, obviously. But yeah, it's looking good. I got it all cleaned up. And of course my reloading room is a mess because we're still kind of moving in, and this was where all the boxes went before we could find a place for stuff. So we're still trying to find places for stuff. I went ahead and sized a couple cases and, you know, deprimed them and put them in the go no-go gauge and did all that. Thought I was doing pretty good because it was in the gauge pretty good. And then, of course, being on YouTube, I like to go to YouTube, and I found this one YouTuber named 76 Highboy, I believe. Yeah, 76 Highboy Reloading. And if you're interested in the Dillon, any of the Dillons, or reloading, I would definitely suggest talking, or, you know, watching his stuff. He has like 94 videos on the Dillon XL650 doing 223. And after watching a majority of those, I've realized a few things. I need more stuff. And that's not good. Okay, with pistol ammo, it's nice. You can save a lot of money. You could, even with the Dillon, you're saving 50% of each round of a pistol. But with AR or rifle rounds, I don't think you're saving much. I mean, maybe eventually you are, but you've got so much more equipment to pay off that I think really you're doing rifle ammunition for the accuracy. And I think that's the only reason you would do it. So watching his videos, he's got this whole other press that's like a turret press that he has a special die for, and then has a SAMI minimum gauge that gauges the neck of the case and make sure that it's like the same every time, right? So this part of the case, it rests up against, goes up into this dial gauge, and it tells you if it's the same as all the other ones. And you want like SAMI minimum, which I guess is like, you know, one of the main tolerances you want for a rifle round. And you can't get that from the sizing die apparently in the Dillon, because of the shell plate has a little bit of give to it. Not much, but you know, hundredths of thousandths of an inch, I guess. And so if you really want to be accurate reloading 223 or rifle rounds, you know, you want to get this turret press, this dial meter that tells you the SAMI minimum specs and if your cases are all correct or not. And I believe it's called the Redding Instant Indicator Gauge. I don't know. Highboy, 76 Highboy reloading. Check it out. Video number 68, I believe, talks about the SAMI minimum gauge and all that. I added all that money up, and that's over $500, maybe $600 worth of equipment that I don't really think I need. I think as long as it's, you know, within specs, even though it won't be the exact same every time, it'll be close enough to be accurate as far as I want to be accurate. Because I'm not trying to hit 600 yards with my AR-15, but I would like to be accurate, you know, at least 200 or 300 yards. But watching his videos, I've learned that what I have set up here, I'm going to have to tear it all down. Because really, you want to resize and decap. And then after you've resized and decap, you want to get a go, no-go gauge for your primer pocket. And make, because some of this is military brass. And they might have a crimp on it. This one doesn't, I don't think. But some have crimps on them. And so putting a primer in might be sketchy, right? So you got to get a go, no-go gauge for your primer pockets. And then if it's a no-go, right, if you can't fit it in there, then you need to swage it. Well, that means I'm going to be picking up the Dillon Super Swager 600, which is like $100. And also the go no-go gauge for the, I think it's the swaging, the swage gauge is what he called it. But also a pocket unifier. And what a pocket unifier does is, because these aren't totally flat all the time, and you can kind of see there's some carbon buildup in there. So the pocket unifier will clean all that out and straighten that pocket up so that the primer seats in there real nice. I also need to get a case trimmer, and I've been looking at the World's Finest trimmer. Dillon makes one that's like $300, but I can't do it, right? So there's this one called the World's Finest trimmer. I think it's like $69, so like 70 bucks. And I think I'm gonna go with that. And now, after watching those videos, without the SAMI minimum gauge and the extra press and all that, I'm looking at another $255 worth of gear to get loading 223. And hopefully it'll be somewhat accurate without having to get the SAMI minimum gauge and all that stuff. I just can't do that. That's just too much. But anyway, I'm going to end the video there. It's been a long few days. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, and God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.